Hey everyone, Travis here. Towards the end of day one of the LCS playoffs here at PAX, joined by ZionSpartan, who has survived the hashtag job security. That's what people always used to call this, job security. You are still in the LCS. You don't have to worry about it. Going into today's match against CLG, did you expect to beat them?
I thought we would do pretty well. CLG was not looking hot in their game against Curse, and it really showed. Like, Seraph wasn't playing as well as he normally would. Doublelift was playing really aggressive is what I heard from the bot lane, and like really trying to look to win his lane, and they just weren't the CLG that they usually were. Like, you could tell they had a lot of issues, and they were trying really hard to push the ticket. Like, they were just looking for a play to be made, and they felt really rushed, and it felt like they were just throwing the game into us. Like, we didn't even have to. We played like all right. Like we made a couple mistakes here and there, but our play was pretty solid in general, and that's all we needed to beat CLG because they were just not playing that well, honestly. And I'm not sure what happened to them. I thought going into Korea, you know, they'd come back, they'd be better, they'd be playing some of the best teams in the world. I don't know what happened at Korea, so I can't really say whether or not it helped CLG or not, but I know they have a lot of internal issues and players don't really work well with each other, so I think a lot's going to happen with CLG for this next season. And yeah, I just hope they can bring it back.
Now, just like Curse, no one will probably talk about you guys at all, and they will just take this match and just use it to talk about CLG incessantly. But what do you personally think this means for Dignitas, this win today?
I think it shows that we can be a good team when we have a good plan and we come into the game with the right mentality. And even though we lost the first game, we realized what we had to fix, and we actually went back. And since it was a best of 5, we were able to recoup, focus on our mistakes, and do the right thing the next time. And that's what we did. The second game was really close, but we clawed our way back into that game just because when they went for Baron, when they went for the desperate Barons, and even if they got the Baron, we took good trades. We got Dragons. We pushed out the lanes. We didn't get desperate, and I think that describes CLG's play to me. It was very desperate, very like they realized, oh, Doublelift has to get ahead. They used everything for Doublelift. They tunneled on plays that were risky, and they just weren't playing smart or solid at all, and I think that's a real reason we won.
I forget if it was the second or third day or game because the whole day has just blurred in my mind, but which game was it where they seemed to be in the lead, and then all of a sudden at the end, like, you guys were able to just take them out and rush down their base? So it was the second or third?
It was the second game when Seraph had Nidalee with the Zillion combo, so he just got really far ahead of me, and basically that game all I had to do was play safe. And I did die once, but besides that I was just staying back. Ziggs would ult the wave. They were just tunneling all their resources on Nidalee and trying to push top that game, and we just took advantage of that by playing the map well.
Now, in that game, yeah, do you think that were you guys confident the entire time, like, even though they were making all these big pushes or whatever and getting map objectives, that you'd be able to turn it around?
Yeah, we're being constantly reassured by, like, Shifter, by Kiwi, by Cutie, like, okay, we're strong, I'm Ziggs, like, I'll carry this game and all that. So we didn't feel like that rushed at all. We were just calm. We played a solid game. We lost inhibitors. We made a few mistakes, but we were able to pull it back because overall we kept it rather clean in terms of not getting desperate when we were behind.
Now again, today you pulled out your Nasus. This was a champion you used to be very well known for, and then, you know, we saw him last week, this week. What do you think of that champion right now? Do you think that it's just sort of like a Zion special that you can pull out every now and then, or is this something that we should start seeing very much, you know, in Worlds or whatever?
I don't think you'll be seeing that much Nasus at Worlds because he's a very situational pick, and he can be risky because he needs to get ahead. But if you can get ahead on him, he's really strong. And you saw that game. I had that bad teleport bottom because it was a miscommunication between me and bot lane, which severely set us behind. And after that, Maokai was able to – he picked up a kill off that, and I didn't stay top for the tower, so I fell further behind. And I wasn't strong enough where I could just completely brute force the towers, but I was getting there. But it was too slow because – all the lanes were getting too far ahead, and that made the Nasus pick risky. So you have to be really smart about being able to get ahead on Nasus, and if you can pull that off, then he's a great pick. But if you can fall behind and you're not split pushing towers, then you're not that useful because you just get kited in team fights.
Do you think that it's safer to pull it out whenever you're confident in the matchup against their champion, or do you think it's a thing where you pull it out because you're confident against the player that you'll be going against?
I think it's definitely a matchup. You never want to look at a player and be like, I can win this matchup because this player is bad. Because you have that mentality, and that will lose you games. Like, I've definitely, like, way earlier in my career been like, I don't care. I mean, I know this player isn't as good at this champion, so I can run anything into that. And it bit me in the ass. Like, I lost because I picked that matchup. And I realized that you just got to look at, you can use the player's tendencies to your advantage, but you don't want to rely on them being bad or them underperforming to pick a certain matchup. So on Nasus, I'd always just look at the champion and their comp, and if it's something I can run it into, the game today, it wasn't that good to run into, but it still seemed like a pretty good shot because Nasus is pretty good into Maokai. Didn't work out that well, but we were able to turn it around. And I really don't want to look at a matchup based on a player. I'd always just look at the champion.
You have this weird, awkward situation where you're not going into relegations, but you're also not going to Worlds, and so time is stretching out in front of you. What do you guys do after this? Does everybody go on vacation? Any of you think about going to Worlds to watch? Anything like that?
Some people definitely do have some plans to go to Worlds, but I'm not really worrying about anything right now because I'm at PAX, and I want to enjoy my time at PAX, enjoy the games, watch the NA hype, and watch the semifinals coming tomorrow, which should be really good that I'm looking forward to. So I'm just going to watch those and cheer for NA in general. And after that, I'll worry about where I'm going with the team and all that.
So you're not sure yet if you'd want to go over to Korea for World Championships or anything like that?
Yeah, exactly. I haven't worried about any of my plans after the split.
It does seem as though whenever I talk to teams and players that are going into these big, playoffs or whatever, it almost seems as though for them, their life just sort of ends, at that point in time. Like, they can't see past it, right? Like, talking to people, anytime you ask, what if this happens? What if you qualify for this? Or what if you don't? They can't even fathom that. Is that the way it works with players? Is that, all you've been thinking about is PAX, and so anything beyond that has just been pushed out of your mind?
I'm definitely kind of the person who likes to think ahead, but especially in the esports scene, it's very hard to look ahead to the future and be where am I going to be? What am I going to be doing? Because anything can change really quickly in the esports scene. If you look at the LCS teams, the split, how many players are the same that were at the beginning of the split? It's only a handful, and things change really quickly in the esports scene, so it's hard to just look ahead. The best thing to do is focus on what's ahead of you so that you can play well. And I tried to do that for the TSM set. Didn't work out so well, but we did pretty well against CLG. We showed that we can be a good team. So I have high hopes for Dignitas, but we'll see where it goes after the split. And yeah, I'm just going to enjoy the NA games and hope NA does well at Worlds this year.
By the way, last question. I did see Drunk Skara, a.k.a. Cumley, here at the event. Was this something that he came out with you guys as a member of the team to help, or was this just something where he's here for PAX?
He's definitely not here for PAX. That's the kind of side bonus, yeah, I'm at PAX, but we definitely brought him here to help us out, and he definitely helped. He's been a big help to us all season. Having two coaches is really nice, and we definitely started utilizing them better, and they started utilizing us better towards the end of the split as we understood the relationship dynamic better.
Well, Skara and Drunk Skara coaching the team. That's maybe if we get Drunk Monte Cristo, then people would lay off him, and we'd have both of them. Do you have any shout-outs, plugs? I don't know when the next time I'm going to interview you, Zion, because there's so much crazy stuff happening.
Shout-outs to all our sponsors. Shout-out to my teammates for playing really well. Shout-out to Odie for being a great owner. And shout-out to all my friends and family for supporting me all along my long career, and hopefully for many more years to come. We'll see where it goes. And shout-out to you, Travis, for just being a great on-gamers interviewist. You just know how to ask the right questions. I don't know how you manage it every time, but it's definitely a really good talent. You should keep it up, man.
Thank you, Zion. I don't know if that's from you or if that's from Odie, because I know he really respects my work, and maybe he just told you to say that right before the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things esports at ongamers.com.